What's up, everyone? I'm going to be talking about Rift, which is a protocol we built for trustless swaps between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So today, if you want to trade any assets between these two chains, you have to do so through a trusted third party. So the vast majority of crypto today is traded through centralized exchanges. This is bad for a number of reasons. One is that they're really expensive. They charge all but the most high volume users a lot of money. And they're not very secure. They have gone out of business. They can mismanage your funds. They can freeze your assets. It's not great. But why do we need these middlemen today? Basically, message passing is very difficult. Bitcoin and Ethereum are obviously different networks. They have different consensus mechanisms. So having them talk to each other is kind of a difficult problem. So we thought about how can we use ZK to solve this. Light clients are the obvious solution for message passing, but they're very expensive if you do all the computations on chain. But ZK Lite clients are really exciting because they allow for arbitrary Bitcoin state transition verification on Ethereum for less than 650K gas. And this has been theoretically possible, but now that we have ZK VMs like SP1, it makes it really easy to actually build these and put these into production. So once you have that core primitive of a ZK Lite client, you can see how swap works. So if you have some asset on Ethereum, you deposit into this contract, I pay you some Bitcoin, and then I can generate a proof that I actually paid you, and I can use that to unlock the money on Ethereum. So here's what it actually looks like in real life. This is deployed to Arbitrum mainnet, so I can deposit some money. This is USDT. I set my Bitcoin payout address. And now anyone on the Bitcoin side can basically come and pay me this. So just to save some time, I will come here, type in however much USDT I want, type in where I want to get the USDT payout to. You reserve it, and then you get a QR code. Anyway, we can come back to this to save some time. So some benchmarks from how we actually use this. SP1, we have, if you're verifying 3 Bitcoin blocks, it's about 4 million cycles. And if you're verifying 73 Bitcoin blocks, which is about half a day of Bitcoin blocks, it's about 5.4 million cycles. And so you can do a very large swap on Arbitrum for just 1 to 3 cents, which is about 625K gas in the best case. In the worst case, you have to update some Bitcoin block hashes, so it can get a little bit more expensive, but still very cheap. And the best part is that we have actual real users now. We launched this 2 weeks ago in the Residency. We've had multiple people swap over $100, which is the maximum limit we set. We could theoretically lift this, and they could swap much more. And we've made $2 in the last 2 weeks. So this is pretty big, yeah. And I presented this on the first week of the Residency. We came in with a very messy prototype, and we launched an Arbitrum halfway through, which is really exciting. But we wanted to actually be able to improve this design by the end of the Residency based on what we learned. So we tried to think about what was our biggest problem. We had slow order matching, basically. So you could deposit money into Ethereum, and then it takes some time for someone to actually pay you, or you could just be sitting for days. So we made an intent-based system now where market makers can register, and then any market maker can basically quote the price that they'll swap to you for the Bitcoin to USDT exchange rate. And you can take the lowest one and then basically create an OTC order for them specifically, and they can just pay you immediately. So that's kind of the design that we're adding now to this version that will allow for much faster liquidity clearing. The thing we're excited about moving forward in the future is synthetic Bitcoin. It seems like the obvious opportunity. We already have a one-way bridge. You can prove that you have any asset on Bitcoin, but now when Opcat gets merged, you can actually verify Starks in Bitcoin as well. So you can perfectly unwrap an asset as well. Ordinals are also apparently very interesting to a lot of people. Zooming out, like, why does this actually matter? I care about this because if we don't make DeFi real, crypto's industry dies. Like, the vast majority of crypto today is traded through fully centralized parties. This is really bad. It's funny that we think we're like a decentralized industry when this is not where the money actually moves. And ZK is really magical because it's basically the unlock we've been waiting for, where now we can finally build systems that are more cheap than centralized ones, but also more secure. Thank you all for coming out. If you want to keep track of our project, I'd recommend following our Twitter, but I'll be around as well. Feel free to ask me any questions.